Good morning, TCA family. We're so excited to be here. We have some special guests today, Deric and Alina. They are a power couple, two of our newest students in our accelerator program, doing some major damage in the SoCal market. You know, after 4 deals slipped through their fingers, they had a lot of grit. They pushed through, and now they have this opportunity where they're going to profit $10,000 on their first deal. So we're so blessed, so happy to have them with us today.
Yeah, absolutely. And, you know, they've gone through some ups and some downs. We've been there through it all with them. And so we're so excited to share the transparency, share the realness with you guys. It doesn't always just happen bada bing, bada bam for everyone, but they push through. That's grit, that's resilience. And we're so excited to go into their journey. But before we get started, go ahead, hit that subscribe button, hit the bell button to be notified of new videos we post every week. And don't forget to give us a like if you get value from this video.
Smash that like button right now.
Right now. So without further ado, we're going to go ahead and bring on Deric and Alina. How are you guys today?
Hi, good. How are you guys?
Doing great.
We're doing well. We're blessed to have you guys here.
Perfect, guys. So, you know, just jumping right into everything. How has your experience been? I know you guys said, you know, coming into 2020, you know, mobile home investing has really changed your life and, you know, just being a part of this community. Can you go into a little bit of that right away?
Yeah, definitely. So I'm going to start out the conversation. Lena's going to pick it up a little bit later. But yeah, coming into 2020, we were both in this kind of weird, I would say middle place. We both come professional backgrounds, me in the legal field, her in accounting. And we were both kind of seeing that there is a glass ceiling in both of those professions. Like, yes, you can make some money, but what is absent that we've all seen because of COVID is that security isn't promised when you're depending on somebody else for a paycheck. So once COVID hit, everything got shut down. We were sitting around trying to figure out, okay, what do we really want to do? What is our talents? What are we interested in? What can we create for ourselves that's going to allow us to be able to feed ourselves and not have to rely on anybody else? So started out doing some research. We were always interested in investing in real estate in the future. And we were like, yeah, this is cool, but this is not going to make us money right now. This is more like a long-term investment thing. And what we eventually would like to do is to replace our 9-to-5s with, you know, our own business. So did just a bunch of like research on YouTube, and eventually we came across TCA, and we were instantly like, wow, this is really like a game-changing thing. Like, people don't think to really get into this market for, you know, whatever reasons it is. It's kind of like it's present, but you just don't see it until somebody calls your attention to it. So once we found TCA,
Got the money calling.
Once I lost my train of thought. Once we came across TCA, we probably watched like 10 of y'all's YouTube videos, and we were instantly like, yes, this is something that we have to do, no questions.
I love it. And we're about to get into your journey because that's where it all began. You guys are ready to kind of take your financial future into your own hands. And then the journey really started once you got into the program. But before we go into that, you guys are in Southern California. If you're in California, comment Cali below, because we get so many questions from people like, can this be done in California? Can you flip mobile homes in California? The prices are high in California. As you guys know, compared to a lot of the examples we have, a lot of our other students, the price points are high, but you guys are making it happen. So we definitely want to know who's here that's in California.
Yeah, we'll get into a couple of the comments here. Coach Gully is with us this morning. He says, good morning. I'm super excited and so proud of you both on your success, your drive, and determination to succeed in this business. Well done. Coach Boyd is here as well. Persistence is what you see with these two. I love that. Let's see. Lexi says, hey, TCA, congrats, team.
Yes.
Absolutely. Got Lance up in here. So proud of you guys, doing some amazing things. And then got more people in here. Good morning. Welcome this morning. Let's see. Gabriel, what's good, TCA? Congrats, Deric and Alina. We got a lot of people coming in
Cali
California.
life.
There's a lot of people out here. There's a lot of opportunity out here, people. Man, a lot of people out here in California. We got Florida here. We got more California. Bradley, good morning. Coach Sessions in here as well. He says, good morning, fam. Proud of you both. Alina and
all
Deric.
the coaches showing so much love.
Yeah.
They've seen the growth in you guys, just like we have.
Got some more coming in. Let's see here. Sacramento, California, new to the family. So happy to have found you all and excited to be part of this process.
Absolutely. Welcome.
What else we got up in here? We
Cali.
got Justin says it never rains in Southern California.
Hey.
Tony. We'll get into a couple more
Lots
here.
of people in California.
SoCal represent.
Let's go.
I see Charity's in here. Hey, Fresno, California, and this is great. We'll get into one more. Hey, Coach Sessions.
Hey, you got a shout out, Coach Sessions. Perfect. And, we want to, definitely be able to answer some questions for you guys as you guys are coming in. So comment your biggest challenge below, specifically for the month of September.
Yeah. So, we like to talk about the wins. We'll, of course, get into the win with Deric and Alina, but they'll tell you themselves, like, it wasn't just they just came into the community and they started seeing success. They went through 4 different deals where it slipped right through their fingers. There's major challenges in order to get to that first opportunity. So we want to know this month, what's your biggest challenge? Go ahead and start commenting below. And then in a few minutes, we'll come back and we'll try to tackle some of those challenges with you guys.
Perfect. So let's get into the dirt. Let's get into the dirt. So I know, kind of getting in, you guys are the type like us to run head first. You guys jumped all the way in. I don't feel like there was one meeting that you missed. We were always seeing you guys present and active and engaged. And you guys found some opportunities right away, right off the bat. But some things happened where they kind of slipped through your fingers. So can you tell us about, I know there was 4 different opportunities. We're not going to be able to have time to go into all of them, but maybe, 1 or 2 of those opportunities, what happened and, what did you learn from those experiences?
2 of the ones that stuck out the most. We got to know the challenge, what you took away, and how that played a role into your first deal.
Okay, perfect. So, yeah, we jumped in head first, like you said. We're definitely people that once we make a decision, we're going to go full force. We're not going to give up. So I'm a big person that likes to write down goals. So I wrote down, okay, we're going to make 20K profit every single month and then build on that by our 90-day mark. But by our 60-day mark, we're going to make at least 10K profit, close our first deal, and be invited on the YouTube channel. So,
hey!
all of that happened. Yeah, all of that happened before our 3 days before our 60-day mark. So I'm excited. Probably the first. Okay, I'll talk about 2 challenges with 2 of the deals. So the first deal we got probably within like the second day that we joined the course, just doing your blueprint, going through the process, following the steps. And so we got this deal, and then we found out that the park manager was actually the owner of the home. And so we talked with the manager. We let him know what we do. He was like, oh, that sounds great. Perfect. We went through the process, and he said, look, I'm just looking for 16K for this home. And so when we talk about California, these homes in these markets, they can go anywhere from 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 100, 200K. So we're coming in like, okay, well, we don't really know yet what these homes are really worth, but let's go through the steps and we'll figure it out as we go. So we went through the steps and quickly realized this home was super popular, and we were trying to get, what was the profit on that? It was 7K. So we put it out to try to get a 7K profit, and we got a ton of hits, and we got a ton of people interested trying to come see the home. So all we needed to do was just discuss it with the park manager, get these people to see the home. We already had them qualified, ready to go. And we were just like, hey, when can these people come see the home? And so he kind of backed it up and he said, okay, well, I need to talk to the owner. I don't really have the power to kind of work with you guys. So let me talk to the owner. We'll go from there. So I had a follow-up plan every day. I was going to call him in the morning and get it done because I had all these people calling us about this home because they really wanted it. And it was a 1-bath, 1-bed, single wide, and a 55+ park. So basically, long story short, we ended up trying to get the guy to give us the owner information. He wouldn't give it to us. So we found the owner online, doing all this stuff on Google, trying to figure it out. He was like a guy in his mid-80s. He never answered the phone. And so I'm like, how do we get this home sold? And so we even said like, hey, you don't pay anything. Like the buyer is going to pay. Like just, you don't pay us anything. Like we literally just want to give you a buyer and that's it, and give you what you want. And so at the end of it, I think the last conversation we had was like 2 weeks ago. And he just said, he basically threw me off, hung up the phone in my face, and just didn't want to.
Oh, you have to quote what he said.
Well, he called me, he said, sorry, honey, bunches of oats. The owner's not interested. I'm like, whoa.
Crazy.
And you had a buyer ready to go. $7,000 you guys would have made on the spot, right?
Exactly. So.
Oh man, I remember that Philly. We were like, you guys got to just keep pushing. How did it feel after that last conversation? You know, what was the feeling that you had, and what kept you pushing forward?
Just overall, just thinking, okay, even through this process and being disappointed, we did not put any money into this deal. So like we didn't lose anything, and we actually learned a lot. And we started our pipeline of getting interested buyers. So I knew like, okay, we know what these people want. They have the cash. We just have to find them another home. So that was just me turning into a positive. And
yeah, great mindset.
The cool thing was, you know, that was a home I wasn't really confident in. I wasn't confident you guys were going to be able to find buyers, considering the size, the age of the home, where the home was located, you know, 55 plus as well. And to our surprise, there was some very high demand there. So I know that got you guys thinking, you know what, hey, I didn't get this one, but at least we know that, you know, people want these types of homes right now.
Such a big learning lesson. And can you tell us about the other deal I think it's in Torrance, right? Where you guys were so close. I was like, oh my gosh. It was like, I felt it just fall. Can you tell us about that deal, what happened, and you know, what you learned from that?
Definitely. So the second deal, yes, was in Torrance. So everyone in Cali knows that Torrance is usually a nice area. It's near the beach, and people will pay more to live there. So this home was actually a fixer-upper, and so we were marketing it out as a handyman special. The sellers, they just said they're done with the home. They want to move. They've outgrown it. It was a 3-bed, 1-bath, single wide. So even though it was, you know, 3 beds, it was still pretty claustrophobic in there. So took the pictures, put it out there, and we figured out really quick that we could make a profit of $14,000 on the home easily. So that basically went viral. And we had all these buyers coming in like, when can we see it? When can we see it? When can we see it? So we got about 7 different families that saw the home. And throughout this whole process, there's issues with the title that we're having to figure out, which is a whole bunch of background issues. But we just know if we can find a buyer that really wants this home, it's going to be a quick transaction. We're going to make $14K on this home. And so that's the positive about Cali. It's like, even though these homes are like older, they need work, people really want to live in these areas, and they'll pay for, you know, something that we're looking at. Like, why would anyone want to live here? But people really want these homes. And so it was no issues with the buyers. They're ready to go, have the cash ready. And then come to find out the seller ghost us. And basically, long story short, they sent us a long text message talking about, thank you so much for your help with everything. And we just talked it over together. We just want to finish these projects on our own. We put so much hard work and blood, sweat, and tears in this home, and we just want to make it a home for ourselves and our kids. So thank you for your hard work, but we're going to keep the home for ourselves. So that was another blow.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
That's $21,000 at that point.
Right. And within the first few weeks of your journey and your experience, you know, doing mobile homes, what did you learn from that experience? What was the biggest lesson that you learned?
Probably just saying, okay, even with everything that we've done, we've learned so much. And since we've gotten so close in such a little amount of time, we just know if we keep doing the blueprint, keep doing what you guys teach us to do, keep getting on these calls, speaking with the coaches, we're going to make it happen. So
yeah, the other big takeaway is that in California, people will pay upwards of $27,000 for a home that needs to be completely renovated. So that definitely also excited us and really helped us to understand, like, this is definitely something that we have to, keep trying. There's a lot of money to be made out there.
Yeah, it's a hot market, right? Like if anything, if nothing else from all of those experiences, you guys had tons of buyers wanting these homes in
Yes.
both of those situations. So you know that there's money to be made. It's just about getting that beginning part, right? Making sure that you can, get the deal closed on the seller end. So amazing, amazing. We're going to go into a couple of questions or comments.
I know we told you guys to list your challenges earlier. So before we get into their first opportunity, their first deal, I want to hear what you guys are experiencing challenges wise. So Curtis says lead generation and marketing. Curtis, the main thing that I would say to focus on when you're starting out is you got to be networking as much as possible, really focusing on online and offline marketing strategies, whether it's from us or anyone else that's out there in the field. Literally just take that blueprint and start applying it. But if you're not consistently putting out online and offline marketing strategies and networking with park managers, different investors, and even, different mobile home investors in the area, you're doing yourself a disservice. It's going to be really hard for you to establish a solid foundation for yourself.
Yeah. And it's all about consistency with marketing. You got to find, what you're going to dedicate yourself to and be consistent with those each and every week. We go into a lot of that in our program. We have our accountability calls because that is the lifeblood of your business, is your marketing and your lead generation. If you're not talking to sellers, if you're not creating these opportunities, you're not closing deals. So we want to make sure that a lot of it has to do with consistency.
Cool. In a small market in central New York, just started with Bandesign to assess appetite in the market. Thanks, Bradley. Yeah, for all of our individuals out there in New York, we say you got to be open to, driving around a bit. So we say kind of focus on the tri-state area. Don't be afraid to head out to like New Jersey, Connecticut, to go out there and find your deals. A lot of the time in New York, there's just not a lot of mobile home parks, mobile home communities out there. But, in the tri-state area, there's tons of opportunity. You just got to be open to making the drive.
Yeah, definitely. It's, there's not a lot of mobile home parks in New York City. We're just, let's just be honest. So it's going to take a little bit of travel, but it can be done for sure.
Deborah says, do I need to use regular contract to buy a mobile home, or can I just have them sign over the title?
We always use contracts because we want to make sure that everything's in writing, everything's clearly stated on exactly how we're going to do this transaction. Signing over the title is like the last step of the process, but we always recommend getting some contracts signed for sure.
Perfect. Get into a couple more. In Chicago too, don't think it will be easy. Mobile homes not that big here. Hey, it's okay. Obviously being in Chicago's a really big city. So that, we know there's a lot of like apartment living, single family homes. However, if you're open to driving as well, like the southern part of your state, or even right over there in Indiana, there's a ton of mobile homes all across Indiana that we got a lot of investors that actually live in Chicago, but they commute out to the Indiana area, even Southern Illinois, to find deals. So it's a lot of good information. Good opportunity out there.
Indiana is the mecca of mobile homes. If you didn't know, there's the mobile home, was it museum or Hall of Fame? The Mobile Home Hall of Fame in Indiana, right across the way. In Elkhart, Indiana. Yeah. So not far from where you are in Chicago.
There's a lot of opportunity out there.
Plenty of opportunities out there.
And we'll get into one more. How can you do this while in a bankruptcy?
Yeah. So, obviously we teach our no money down strategy. So it's not about having a ton of money or the perfect credit to be able to do these deals and to be able to make money with this opportunity. Most of the time, especially when we're using our no money down strategies, we're not even applying to take over any lease agreement or anything with the park management. So this can definitely be done while you're in a bankruptcy. It's just about having the strategy and understanding, how to be able to serve a client without having to use your own credit or your own money. So definitely can be done.
Since you're not, applying to live in the community, your bankruptcy really never has to come up. So again, we're just focusing on utilizing our knowledge and our time, going out there, serving our clients, and not applying at the park, still getting deals done. So let's go ahead and get into Deric and Alina's
get into the success story now. Let's get into the real stuff now.
So I know you guys have been able to get to this first deal. I think you guys are profiting about $10,000 on this opportunity. How did this work out? I believe you guys partnered with another community member in the community as well.
Yes. So you guys always preach collaboration over competition. And in California, it's just such a vast area and market. We found that partnering with other students who are successful in the area, that's going to help, both of us. So they're really good on certain things that we haven't done yet. And so we just knew like, okay, if we just partner and just figure it out together, we'll make it happen. And as soon as we decided to partner, it just seemed like these deals to start falling in our lap. Yeah. And so in this particular, should I go over the deal?
Let me just add before you get into that. TCA is so fire. We have these like super high level calls five times a week, and so on there we could actually interact and communicate with other TCA members. So the person actually reached out to us, and they were like, "Hey, we're so glad that you guys joined. We've been hoping and praying that somebody else in Southern California was gonna join because we've been trying to do this ourselves, but California is so big. There's so many areas to hit. California is actually, I believe, the second biggest state in terms of mobile homes are here. So we were like, yeah, definitely, that sounds good. By then, we had already lost 2 deals, I think, and that kind of kicked off everything. So. Go ahead.
I love it. Yeah. Go ahead. And can you guys explain, what the seller was going through, how you were able to bring value to the seller in particular in this deal?
Yes. So this particular deal was actually Torrance, Gardena. It's like right on the borderline. And so I already knew, okay, this is the area that everybody wants to move to. So the seller basically was getting evicted from the park, unfortunately, but it wasn't because they were past due on lot rent or anything dealing with finances. It was because they basically turned this home into, I hate to say like pimped it out, but basically like, they have like this pool, like this big pool in the background, like in the backyard. They have a sunshade on someone else's mobile home. So it's covering all of their side of the mobile home. And then they just did a whole lot. So they decided that they were outgrowing the home as well, and they just wanted to buy a single family home. And so we were like, okay, they're getting evicted. That means they're motivated. Let's do this inspection and kind of knock this out. So we went ahead and looked at the home. We saw how nice it was on the inside, and we were like, oh my God, this is going to sell so fast. Like, we were just so excited, but we didn't want to show that in person. So we were able to get under contract for $15,000. That's all they wanted. And so through that, we were able to get a whole bunch of buyers. We got 5,000 views on the home within 23 hours, over 172 messages, all within 23 hours. So I'm like, okay. And we put it on the market for $30,500. So we were like, oh my God, this is it. This is our deal. Like, we cannot mess this up. Cedric and Rhea involved as well. And so they were like, okay, we're going to help you throughout this process. We're going to be fine. And so we were able to schedule it where the people could come see the home. And then in the midst of that, there was this crazy, we didn't even tell you guys this yet, but there was this plot twist where this crazy real estate agent who is the cousin of the husband, she basically was calling us saying like, why are you working with my family? Like, what's going on? Like, are you guys trying to scam my family? Like, and we were like, whoa, like, who are you? And so we were like, the seller called us. Like, we didn't even, and we saw the sign in front of the real estate agent, and we asked first and foremost, are you under contract with the real estate agent? And they said, no, this is just our cousin. We just have this here to see if we get anybody interested. So that whole thing, but she was trying to get us to basically go through her process. And we were like, no, that's not going to happen. We go through our process. They called us, and they can decide who they want to work with. So
how did that conversation go? Like, how did you guys like work your way out of that to still get this deal moved forward?
So I basically asked her questions like, so what are her concerns? And then also trying to figure out like, was she going to get paid off this deal without really asking her? And so she basically admitted she's just trying to help her family. But she ended up, we found out she talked to the family and got them to increase the price to $20,000. So that's how we had to switch over the contract to $20,000. But basically, we just let her know, like, we are just trying to provide affordable housing in Southern California. You already know the market. You know how hard it is to live here for most people, especially during COVID. We're just trying to help people that want to move in, and we also want to help your family get the money that they want before they get evicted and lose this home. And so when she was like, oh, okay, well, that makes me feel better, but you still need to go through my process. And so we're happy. So we talked to the seller directly, and they're like, oh, no, we want to work with you guys. We'll talk to her. And we haven't heard from her since. So that was, a funny little plot twist there. But the cool thing about this is actually the person that purchased the home, she was actually a person that came and saw that handyman special in Torrance, and she wanted something that was a little bit better for her family. And she saw this home and fell in love with it. She gave us the offer on the spot for $30,000 and got under contract, and here we are now. So 10K.
Now, did you have to disclose how much you guys were actually making on this deal to the seller, and how did that work out? Like, how did you go by with or without saying what your fee was going to be?
No, so we didn't, and we basically, when we show the home, we already tell the sellers, like, hey, this is our process. We're bringing in families that have been waiting to live in this home. We're also bringing other investors in and things like that. But we need to talk with the buyers about the pricing and all of that to make sure that everything goes smoothly. So you're going to get the money that you want. So you're going to get $20,000, and we're going to handle everything for you. So that's what you're asking us to do. So,
go ahead.
And then just based on your blueprint and how you guys train us, we go through your process, and it was easy.
Now you also let us know, on the calls that there is a 2 to 3 week approval process with the park. So what we always teach is like, hey, if you guys have a buyer locked in, don't just wait around 2 to 3 weeks and your buyer doesn't have any skin in the game. We always say at least collect an earnest money deposit so they have something locked in. How much of a deposit did you guys get locked down from your buyer through the approval process?
$7,000.
All right.
70%. 70% locked down.
All right.
And that's pretty high. We are, for a $10,000 profit, Samira and I will usually go with somewhere around, $2,000 or $3,000, maybe $4,000, but you guys went all the way for $7,000. So
how did it feel to hold that check? How did that feel for you guys?
Amazing. We're like, the first thing we need to do is take a picture of it so we can post it on the group, so they know that it's research goals.
I know after all those ups and downs of those other deals, just actually like getting that, finding the buyer, getting them through the process. I know that was just the feeling of that. And I know the buyer that you ended up working with, they had a special needs child. So how did that feel to like be able to help a family get into affordable housing?
Amazing, because we actually met her family at the other house, and so we were like, man, we really would like to find her a house that would work for her in this area. She wasn't willing to move anywhere else, and so literally the next thing that fell in her hand, she was like, I need to see this home. This is my home. And as soon as she walked in,
looks like we lost them.
Oh man.
Oh,
okay,
you're
back. You were saying you were gonna find they were looking at the other house, and so as soon as you had this house, you were able to show it to them, and I'm sure it was in much better condition than the first one. So I'm sure they were very, very grateful.
Exactly. Anyone would love to live in this home. So she was so excited, and that was it.
Perfect.
I love it. I'm glad we got you guys back, though we lost you for a second.
Like, oh no.
So what we always like to do is, can you tell us about your overall TCA family experience from the time that you talked to one of our enrollment directors all the way up until now? And were there any coaches that you want to give any type of shout out or praise to that helped you along this journey up to this point?
Yeah, definitely. Shout out to all the coaches and you two as mentors first and foremost. But and the thing that makes this program invaluable, it's super inclusive, interactive. The coaches are super timely with their responses. Initially, when we first got the phone call, the person that we did the interview with, they were super thorough about what are our needs, what are our expectations, what do we want to get out of this process, and just helping us to understand how the process goes and how great of a program it actually is. Now, I have to admit that I'm one for skepticism, for jumping into something, especially, considering the circumstances that we all faced during COVID-19. And then with, me having a legal background, I always do, X amount of research before I say yes or no, or even maybe to something. So didn't really need to do any of that. We had seen just from doing our own research, just how effective, how transparent this program is. So when we went through the interview process, it didn't feel like we were pressured or anything, like that to actually join the program. And then once we actually got in the program, we were even more impressed just with how available the information is, the other community members, how willing they are to share information to help you out. I like to think of it as each one teach one kind of program where everybody is so willing to help and share and get you through deals. This is definitely not like a cutthroat, industry or type of business where people are just out for themselves because, it's so much money to be made in this business that you're willing to help, other people and definitely like grow something as you continue to collaborate with other folks. The coaches, and I really can't give them enough praise. They're super on top of it. When you post a question in the group, they're usually on it. I would say within like 5 to 10 minutes. Like I honestly have never had to wait more than probably like 45 minutes.
Shout out to Coach Brandon.
We have to tell Coach Boyd to slow down, man.
Coach Goalie as well, always on top of it, super timely. And the crazy thing is that they all have their own things going on with their own mobile home business, and they're still able to be really effective and quick with their responses. So shout out to all the coaches, Session as well. He drops like 2 or 3 gems almost every phone call. So shout out.
I love it. Our coaches, shout out to our coaches. They're just such an open book and they really have a heart to serve and help everyone. And you saw as soon as we got on this live, each one of them showed up to the live, giving you guys big praise because they see how dedicated and persistent you guys are. And you guys really, really deserve to close this deal out because of all of the ups and downs. And you guys are still pushing forward with more and more deals. I wanted to ask really quick. I know when we first got on our connection call, you guys were like, hey, this is our first business. We're going in together. We're a couple. Do you have any advice, after going through all of this in your first 60 days, any advice for other couples that are just getting started?
Yeah, definitely. I think it just goes back to just making sure you're focusing on the relationship first and foremost and making that the number one priority, because if that's rocky, you're not gonna be able to run a business together. So you have to keep the communication up, making sure that you're setting a schedule. Obviously we have our separate schedules. I'm a stay-at-home mom with our toddler. Deric is studying for the bar exam. So we have a lot going on. And we also took the advice from you guys, and you just said, make sure that you have a cutoff period every day where you just shut it off. You stop talking about the business, and we're still working on that. But it's like, you're like, no, keep talking. We have that in my head that we need to stop and just celebrate the wins, and then start fresh the next day. So just keeping the communication up, and then making sure that you're on the same page.
Yeah, I'm glad you guys said that. You have to be able to cut it off. It doesn't matter what the time is. 3 p.m., 5 p.m., 6 p.m., just so you can, get used to, talking to your spouse again versus your business partner. Like, Samara and I, we say, hey, at 6 o'clock, I don't want to hear anything business related whatsoever. I really want to know, how are you doing? How are you feeling throughout the day? What are you working on personally? Like, what are we doing as a team to grow our foundation, grow our marriage? Because in our opinion, the most important business is family business. Without that foundation laid out, anything after that will crumble. So I appreciate that. I want to get into a couple more questions right here. Denny says, Deric and Alina, way to push through adversity.
Yes, absolutely.
And then we got something else here. Deric and Alina would like to know how you've balanced the time between working the deals and managing your career. Because I know, Deric, you're studying for that bar exam too.
Yeah, so that's actually kind of been something that has helped to push us forward. I know that the benefits of passing the bar exam being able to be licensed, it comes with a whole lot of other perks that's definitely going to help us in the mobile home business. But as far as balancing time, we just really keep a pretty strict schedule. We're both really early risers. We're usually up at like 4:45, 5 a.m. So I block out the time that I need to actually study, and then we might switch up at some point, and I'll handle some duties for whatever else, and then we have our block of time where we're both working on the business. Then I also have a part-time job at nighttime helping my brother out with his business as well, back in the Bay Area. So I would say it's really just being able to block out time and have a good schedule that you're working off of.
Yeah. Time management, not everyone's biggest skill set, right? Time management. If you're not on it, if you're not blocking out that time can get away from you. So that's huge.
For sure. And then Joshua said, was this a wholesale deal? Yes, absolutely. This was
you guys didn't use any of your own money to get this deal done. You guys used the buyer's money.
And Coach Sesson says, I must admit it, it's hard to shut it off when you're so dialed in.
Yes, it is, especially when your partner is in the business with you. So you guys could just keep going on and on and on for days.
We really appreciate your time. We also appreciate all you guys locking in with us and engaging with us. We hope this inspires you to get out there in the field and start getting your deals done as well. If they want to get started with us, how can they get started?
Yeah, we have a link right below this video. Go ahead and apply to join the family. Be a part of this Trailer Cash Academy team. We'll leave the link below the video. You can also watch our free webinar there as well. So we're excited to welcome you into the family.
We are so excited for you, Deric and Alina, to continue to push through. Congratulations again on your most recent success, as well as with Cedric and his queen as well. We're just excited to see you guys grow and start to dominate SoCal. I know you guys are going to start locking into some more advanced levels of marketing. So it's really good that you guys are building that trust right now in that foundation. So thank you guys so much for taking out time out of your busy schedules to come and be here with us this morning.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Awesome, guys. Well, have a great rest of your day, guys. Hope you guys got value out of this video. Don't forget to apply at the link below. We'll see you on the next one.